Yesterday I bought Sekiro.
Ooh, nice.
Hard.
Nice. You started it?
Yeah, and
nice.
It took me like 7 tries to get just to the first part where you get a sword.
I'm so bad at those. I haven't played Sekiro, but I don't even think I made it out of the tutorial in Bloodborne before I was just like, I give up. Like, yeah. It's hard. I don't even understand what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm like in the middle of the tutorial. I got past like the first part of the tutorial, and yeah, it doesn't like explain it very well, which I kind of like. I kind of like figuring it out, but it's also like, yeah, I died like 7 times trying to get to the first like checkpoint.
Hey everybody, welcome to Pursuing Pixels. My name's Kevin Portelli, and I'm here tonight with John Hines.
Hey there.
And we're also here with our friend and game designer, composer, Megan Carnes as well. She's joining us for the first time on the podcast. How you doing, Megan?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. And welcome back to Chicago, by the way. We got a Chicago trio here with us tonight, so
yeah,
feels good.
Still not in person, though.
Yeah, still not in person.
Someday.
Yeah. But yeah, we figured we'll chat some games with you, the first time around here, and then next week we'll probably chat, get a little more in depth into your like composition and game design career and what you're doing right now and all that stuff. But in the meantime, John, I know we talked a little bit of Warhammer 40K recently with your figurines on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I know you've been delving just deeper and deeper into that world. I guess we're all going to potentially be diving into this world.
Oh yeah.
After last night. Yeah.
Mikey and I are making sure that we suck in as many people as possible into this hobby.
Yeah, basically buying enough for 3 people to play at any time.
Oh yeah, we're playing the small version of the game, so it's a lot easier to get enough pieces to actually play that. But on the Humble store, they had a huge sale recently on almost all of the Warhammer games. All the properties of the Warhammer, like Fantasy and then 40K, which is what I've been playing. And I picked up the Dawn of War collection, which included the expansion that I've been playing, which is Dark Crusade. And it is a 2006 real-time strategy game that is also just my wheelhouse of PC games that I played over a decade ago. But this one specifically was an expansion that was the 2 factions that I've been playing as in the actual like tabletop version of the game. So I'm playing as the Necron, which are the immortal space robots, and the Tau, which are the space communists. So, like, just great things all around. But it's a really solid RTS, and, like, this was an entire, I don't know, world or universe that I really had no exposure to up until, like, a few months ago, really. And suddenly I'm like, oh, hey, I know about this and can actually get into this really solid RTS that I had never really paid attention to or even knew about. And then find out that, of course, there's this huge giant subculture of people who like, this is the greatest RTS ever made.
Like, are there still servers for people playing online and stuff like that? Because, like, obviously, like stuff like StarCraft and, stayed around, but those are like the big heavy hitters.
I'm still like in my little baby tutorial stages for the game, so I'm really not looking to play multiplayer with anyone yet, but it's got a really good campaign. I've been enjoying it a lot, and like the sale that I got was like every expansion, so I've got so much content of so many different things in Warhammer. It's just a fun thing. I'm really enjoying it. Like I did have the benefit of having played or like started the collecting of the tabletop version, so like I was able to go in and know like basically like, oh yeah, I know what these units will do because like I know what they do in the like physical game. So it was kind of fun to see like, oh yeah, like I did a couple of the tutorial missions just so that I could learn how to actually play the game. And then I started, playing with my actual factions and like seeing how that was different and then starting the main campaign. But yeah, it's a solid 2006 game.
And it looks pretty good. Like those shots that you posted, I was like, this doesn't look that dated. And
No.
And RTS is a genre that, for me at least, I've kind of avoided for a long time. Not because I don't like them, but just because I didn't play on PC that much, and playing them on consoles is it's one genre that doesn't work very particularly well unless it's like Bad North or something like that, where it's like a really kind of intuitively designed interface or whatever.
100%.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm excited to dive into Warhammer. Do you mess around with any RTS stuff at all, Megan?
No, it's one genre that I just really, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot to manage and keep track of, for sure.
Micromanaging is it 100%. And you have to be like, I like telling people where to go and do specific things and like build buildings in specific areas. Like
you're almost like building a machine, like a well-oiled machine. Like just do these tasks in on command.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the closest thing I like is probably like Pikmin.
Pikmin rules.
Pikmin's definitely, that's another game that kind of like does RTS in like a super intuitive way, and like makes it work on a console.
I could never imagine
games.
playing like a standard RTS like on a console. Like I feel like it's something you need to have like a mouse and keyboard, and like I know that StarCraft came out on N64 and I still have no idea.
Did it really?
Yes. I have
those C
wow.
buttons, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Pikmin just works because it's, you have the, I don't know, it's just it's a good, I don't want to say simplified, but it's just a different approach. Like it's an intuitive console approach.
It's a good way to put you in direct control in a kind of an RTS environment, I guess. Even though it's not like it's not designed like a strategy game in the sense like but it sort of is. I guess it is sort of. I don't know. Yeah,
it's very much like its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss Pikmin.
I know.
I know they just released 3 Deluxe on Switch, but I'm still so. I didn't want to get it because I just feel like on the Wii U you needed that double screen, like because you could like draw the path of the other playable astronauts or whatever. I forget what their names are in Pikmin 3, but I feel like
Bethany and Charlie.
Nice, off the cuff.
ABC.
But I guess it probably isn't that bad to just switch. I'm sure you can do it pretty quickly or something in the Switch version, but I really liked being able to do that like right on the screen and just look down, draw a little path, and switch what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got 3 Deluxe actually, and I never played it on the Wii U, and I thought it was mostly like fine, but sometimes it would be like weird if I had like all 3 of them doing stuff at the same time. I'd be like, wait, what's this one doing? Like, where are you? Are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah. To be fair, by the end of the game, I was definitely, even on the Wii U, was like, holy shit, this is like getting way too hectic.
Yeah.
The time management in that game is tight.
Yeah.
Very tight.
Yeah, it's fun though. Yeah, I got to the end of the game, the end boss, and I kept like having my one last Pikmin die, so I just killed it little by little with like one Pikmin at a time, then it would then kill and would then regrow. It was very depressing, actually.
Yeah, that game can give you some like sad victories, that's for sure.
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah. But what else have you been playing lately, Megan?
The game I've been playing the most is Cozy Grove, which I feel like a lot of people haven't heard of. But yeah, it's a good game. It's by Spry Fox Studios, and their whole thing is like all their games have like these like squarish, like cubish bears, basically, like very rectangular. So those are heavily featured in this game. But yeah, essentially it's kind of like Animal Crossing, where in this one you get stuck on like a deserted island. You don't go there on purpose, but you're essentially a spirit scout, just basically like a Girl Scout or Boy Scout or whatever. and you go there, and essentially you meet all these ghost bears, and you're trying to help them all to, like, figure out their unfinished business, that kind of thing. And it's mostly done by, like, fetch quests and occasionally, like, crafting things for them, that kind of thing. But I don't know, It's just very cute, like, a combination of, like, cute and spooky. And it's the kind of thing where you play, like, 20 minutes a day, and then it's like, all right, your quests are done, come back tomorrow. Which is nice. It's what I need, because I sometimes get way too obsessed with games and play for way too long, and I can't really do it with this one.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds nice, because it sounds like, you know, I'm sure it's different from Stardew Valley, but you like get in that loop with Stardew Valley where it's like a day is about 20 minutes in Stardew Valley, but you could just play them infinitely, basically. You know, there's no, I guess there's an end game, sort of. And is there an end game in this game? Like, are you trying to, like, finish the game in any way, or is it just kind of like, hey, keep playing and hanging out?
I think so. Like, I haven't gotten to the end of any of the bears' storylines yet, but it's like, as you help them with more and more quests, you, like, uncover more memories of theirs. So I'm sure once you've, like, helped all the bears, I don't know how much left there will be to do, you know? But we'll see. There's also this thing, it's kind of like the Animal Crossing Museum. They have, like, these collections where you collect all the different flowers you can grow and all the different fish you can catch and all this stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of Stardew Valley. Not to just keep bringing that back up, but, like, filling out all the... I never actually finished everything, but, like, when you'd get those little... What were they, like... I always think of the Jinjos, but that's Banjo-Kazooie. What are those things? Juminos, yeah. Those are, like, I just love those little, like, when you filled out a certain chart or whatever and you got the little cutscene. Yeah. So cool.
My last playthrough, I finished the community center for the first time, which was nice. But after that, there's, like, a really hard bundle you can get in, like, the abandoned Joja Mart, which is just, like, you know, you need, like, 5 of each of these super rare things, and I never finished that, but... Yeah, there was also one time in Stardew Valley where I dated everyone at the same time, which was very funny.
Yes, that is the correct way to play.
Yeah. And
the exact opposite of me.
But it was funny because the only consequence they were like, was everyone was like, we're going to give you the cold shoulder for a week. And I was like, okay. And so... for like a week when I would talk to them, they would be like mad. But then after that, like I was still dating all of them. Like it was fine.
All is forgiven.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's like, funny. I got so addicted to like the farming aspect of that game that I was like, I just pretty much never even went to town except to just like buy seeds and stuff when I ran out and just like, just keep this farm running, keep upgrading everything. Like, I mean, I would barely... I would do quests when there's something on the board. If I happen to do it, and maybe, but I just, I don't know. But I like the idea of like, with like you're saying with Cozy Grove, like where it's like kind of keeping you focused on like, do these tasks and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And that's funny about Stardew Valley because I'm the opposite where I actually don't really like the farming despite it being like a farm sim game, but I prefer like, you know, getting the different storylines with all the people in the town and exploring the caves and all that stuff.
Yeah. The caves are definitely fun. Yeah. And I like, I guess I don't, it wasn't even, I just got so hooked on the farming loop. Like I didn't want to leave anything untended, or like I knew I could, like if I spent time on it again today, I could just build a bigger patch over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just got like addicted to it.
And I might be back in on Stardew Valley after this. It's bad news.
It's been a long time since I booted it up.
Yeah, whenever they came out with that update, I played again, like the big update. I don't remember when that was. Like, I want to say
this year.
I think you brought it up, John, when it like around the time that it came out, because like it was like that the beach farm update.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like
some more
like
the island stuff.
Yeah,
Ginger Island
and stuff.
And like there was I was still playing it when there was like a bug on the like console version for Switch, so like I went to like the Ginger Island and it just loaded like a blue blank texture as all the ground. So you could still like move around, but it like was just so difficult.
Oh, wild. Yeah, but I'm kind of the same way where I can't just casually play Stardew Valley. I'm either like completely obsessed and like play several hours every day, or I'm just not playing it.
Yeah, it's like either the only game I'm playing or I'm not touching it.
Same.
Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, I've been kind of digging through some of that, recently. I guess we haven't really mentioned it on the podcast, I don't think, but there was that itch.io bundle for Palestinian Aid, which is very similar. I know we have mentioned the itch.io bundle for racial justice and equality a few times on the podcast, more than a few times, and a ton of awesome games that were included. And there was a lot of overlap, and just I always want to give a shout out to these developers that continue to support awesome causes, and including Megan, who included one of her games interview, which I actually played earlier today. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more when we talk a little bit more about your stuff specifically, Megan. But yeah, I've been digging into, and I know you know this game as well. And I think, John, I don't think you've had a chance to play it yet, but I know you know of it. But Mixolumia, it's this like not top down, but it's like a brick falling match 3 puzzler, although not strictly match 3, because you can definitely like match longer lines, or I think you can even kind of like match things like into a diamond shape, or like it's like basically the play field is like shaped like a rupee from Zelda is what it looks like to me. And then like you're dropping these like diagonal 4 tile blocks that are like in a diamond shape. They're square, but just rotated 45 degrees. And then it just like kind of, I'm excited to talk about this too, John, because like we keep mentioning the Bit Generations games, those Nintendo games. And it's very similar to Dial Hex and Roto Hex. And like, it just has like I don't know, like it's really hard to learn how to set up combos. I find it really satisfying to like come up with new, like, oh, this is kind of how the combo, because like the way the tiles kind of slide either to the left or the right, kind of gravity based sort of. It's sort of, I don't know if it's gravity or just based on like which side of the rupee, if you will, if you're on, but like I just really love how like I've played quite a bit of it, and I still don't feel like I get some sweet combos, but I definitely don't feel like I fully understand it. But I love that there's like an endless mode. There's like the clear 450 blocks mode. There's just like pretty much any way you want to play. There's like a relaxing mode where there's just no punishment at all. Yeah, it's just awesome. And it's got a really great aesthetic. Like I think it's even kind of based on Pico 8 aesthetics a little bit, because the main palette is called Dark Pico or something. But yeah, it's like a really simple look, but like the particles are flying all over the place. There's like a million different palettes you can pick from, and people can even like I think there's like 3 or 4 different kind of like, they're almost like soundtracks, but kind of soundscapes. Cause like every time you like move to the left or right, it's like just very musical, everything you do in the game. And like, I guess there are songs, like they do kind of ramp up as you progress further on and like get further on, like through the levels or whatever, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. And I know you can like, people can even make their own like music packs and sound effects packs and stuff like that and upload them to Steam. Maybe it's on the Steam, or I don't know exactly where you can do it. Or it's not Steam, because I think it's only on itch.io, this game.
Yeah, the game's on Steam, but I think the packs,
it is nice.
You can do on itch. Or you can just like put them in your own version of the game if you don't want to upload them, and then you can also do like your own palettes too, which is cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, there were definitely some in the game like that were already in there that were just like they said they were, it had like the little whoever. I recognized a few of the names, like the developer. I always forget their name. I think it's Noe Sharon.
Oh, Noe. Yeah.
Noe. Yeah. I love their game Data Loss. Like just absolutely love that game. And one of the palettes was from them. I was just like, oh, this is awesome. It's like a really like purpley palette. I really, really like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a really cool, like addictive arcade game. And just another, like, I don't know, just want to give a shout out again to like awesome developers giving their game up for an awesome cause. And, letting people, I think it was a $5 minimum donation, but there were, I think they raised almost, if not a little over $1 million this time around. For Palestinian Aid, just really cool. And I've been wanting to play this game for a while, so was happy to get my hands on it finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I actually just wanted to give a shout out to a couple more while I'm talking about it, because that's just what I do, I guess. But I was also got really sucked into this game, Alien Death Mob, which also just came out from Pug Fugly Games, and I've been kind of like, it's really like, as soon as John pulled it up, he was like, "This looks like a Kevin game," and it's like, it's very bright neon pixely colors, but it's really cool. Like, every level has like it's a top down, you can zoom it in as much as you want or as far out as you want to where you can see the whole level. Like, I have it zoomed in to where you can kind of run all over the place and the camera kind of follows you just because it feels more frantic. And basically there's nothing much to it other than there's a ton of different power-ups, and then like if a bullet or enemy gets close to you, like it goes into bullet time slow-mo, and you just get like a really generous amount of time to like kind of avoid things, basically. But I mean, as soon as it starts, it is just like, you at first I was like, what the hell, like you can't beat the first level. And then eventually I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. The power up, like trucks and stuff will come by and just like they'll honk and drop some power ups, and then I was like, okay. But it is intense. But I love, like, every level is like an actual set. Like the first one's France, and like the Eiffel Tower's in the background. Then you go to like Greece and Wales, and it's just like really cool. Like in Wales, I think like you're kind of on like the beach, and like crabs are coming up from the beach, like all different enemies so far on every level. Like, I don't know, just really frantic, really fun, really cool game. Again, also included in the bundle, but I think it's only like $2 or $3 normally too. So definitely just recommended as well. And then I also wanted to recommend, while I'm on the subject of death, this Death Drives a Bus game, and it's just so cute and cheeky. It was also included in the bundle. It's got like this ZX Spectrum like pixel art aesthetic, 8-bit, so it's just like a top-down puzzler where you're like moving, you're playing as the Grim Reaper Death or whatever, and your horse is ill, so you're driving a bus instead, and you have a limited amount of gas, and then you're like, so like every tile you move like uses, you know, it'll show a number above the bus of like how many spaces you can move, and then you're dropping. It's like so cute to the point where like you're picking up passengers, and they're either like yellow or red, and if they're good or evil, and you're taking them to heaven or heck. Like, that's how cute this game is. And it's just like, I don't know, it's got like just like the way the bus like bounces around, and like eventually like I got to like the second world, and like they start like you go over like a road, and like you can see it's like kind of crumbly, so after you go over it there's like a big pothole, so you can't go over it again. Like, really getting inventive with the puzzles. It seems like it's a game that might still be in development, because there's like a link right to the Discord, like right on the menu of the game. I guess some games just do that anyways, but I was like, I don't know. I was just really, really into that game and excited. It looked like there were quite a few more levels. So, and a really cool overworld map. Just really sucked into all these games. I mean, there's so many. I think there was a little over 1,000, or I think a little over 1,200 games in the bundle this time around. So just a lot to dig through, even though thankfully I was like, oh, there's some overlap. So I've gone through some of these from the bundle for racial justice and equality. But yeah, I've just been really, really digging those. And I think you all picked up that bundle as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have both of them. Yeah. Yeah,
same. Anything that either of you have dug into yet on those, or not quite yet?
Honestly, no. I think I just picked it up because I, like, one, wanted to support the cause, and two, was like, yeah, I'll just put like another 800 games on my like library.
Yeah. I haven't played like anything from the Palestinian bundle because I've just been super busy lately. But I think in that one and the racial bundle, or the racial justice bundle, was the game Art School, which I love. It's Art School with a Q, which is just this very like fun, surreal, weird game, which is very much my kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like more like it. Yeah, it looked like as soon as you like mentioned it and we looked it up before we started recording, it was like, oh yeah, this looks awesome. Just even like the thumbnail of the game is like very much like, I want to check that out.
Yeah, so. I like really absurdist stuff. It kind of reminded me of like, it's not similar like mechanically at all, but kind of like Human Fall Flat or something like that. Kind of like weird humor,
slapsticky kind of. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think we can probably wrap up the chatting about games here, and then next week we'll be back with Megan to talk about some of her stuff and get a little, more in depth on the development end, and we can actually chat about Interview now that I've played it, and John's played it before as well. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, really excited to dig in and talk about some of Megan's stuff a little deeper. But until then, we'll catch you next week, and take care.
Bye.
Bye. I literally just went there to get Hell is Other Demons and Overcooked 2, which were the free games right now.
Overcooked 2 is already out.
Overcooked.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I haven't played 2 yet, but the first
good.
one's really fun.
Both of them,
take.
my husband and I played together. Like, both Overcooked 1 and 2. They're both very fun. We played them on Switch, though.
Yeah. They're a little too... I worked in restaurants for so long that, like, it's a little too real.
I can
sometimes.
imagine, yeah.
You're just, like, actually calling out tickets, and you're just like, no.
Why is no one cutting onions?
Just do the fucking dishes. We need plates. We need plates. Just like, oh my God, this is way too stressful. And I go into like manager mode where I'm like trying to like tell people what to do, or I'm just like, or, you know, if you're just like not on the same, like, especially when I play with DJ, because he's stubborn because he wants to do it his way, and then I'm stubborn and I want to do it the way that I think's best, and then we just can't coordinate together.
Oh, no.
But I do, it is a game that I think if you have more than 2 people, it helps. But
probably, yeah.
Although you did it, you said you did it with your husband, 2-player.
Yeah, we played through everything, and it was very fun. But I've heard that a lot of couples try to play it and like end up arguing a lot. But we were mostly fine.
Yeah.